Mother and father wounds. So today, this evening, I'm going to be starting the first of two webinars and then two tomorrow, working with our ancestral information about being a father, a mother, a parent, a child. So it's going to work deep in the system. And it's interesting. I was only talking about, it's like how much programming is in our system. So we have to acknowledge that, maybe your ancestors are from a different tradition and different values, different religious belief systems, territorial beliefs, systems, if you're Spanish, if you're American, are you English, are you Irish? Is there a mix of genetics in the system? So we also have to honor that and honor what they went through, and everybody's doing the best they can. Now, if there's anything from the past, it's about we are a collection of information which is programmed from our ancestors. And the parent wounds are very, very strong in our system and affect everything about everything in our lives. How we see ourselves, how we love ourselves, how we nourish ourselves, how we protect ourselves, how we accept finances into our system, lack of nourishment, lack of finances. So, or what are we making, business for? What are we making money for? What are we living for? So all these things have an impact on us. Now, in the ancestral line, um, their belief systems are affecting us. So, for example, as I was saying, if there's, religious belief systems in there, traditional religious belief systems, and now, for example, you're doing this webinar, the ancestors were saying, are you crazy? What are you doing as a child of us representing us going to do that webinar, which is against our religion, against our belief systems? Who are you to do that to our future children, your children? So the personality level in the astral field of the ancestors may be completely against you doing this webinar because they don't believe in this. I don't have to go so far back. My siblings think I'm crazy doing this type of work. They don't understand this work. So people around me don't understand this work. So it's like it's understandable that the ancestors would stamp their feet and say, hang on, we've had these traditional values which have worked, which has kept us all safe. And now you go off and do something like this. So there's this internal struggle and fight in the system. Also, there is also an information of secrets maybe in the system where they don't want things to be revealed. And also in the system is a lot of programming around you cannot say that about your parents or believe that about your parents or think that about your parents. Maybe, for example, you did not feel safe in your childhood. Now, the ancestors may say, how dare you say you did not feel safe? How dare you think you were not protected? How dare you think you were not emotionally nourished? How dare you think that about your mom, about your dad? So there's a disconnect. Now, even with the realization that maybe I realized I wasn't safe, and then you cannot bring it to the point, yeah, but there's a but in the system. This will have a disconnect from the frequency. You need to find the root of the system, the root of the emotion, the root of the topic. So we have got a collection of ancestral topics in our system, which is running our show. It's running the system. And the secret is to go back to the origin, to find it. Like each one of us have a collection of behavior patterns which belong to an ancestor back there. Now, sometimes I will choose maybe something maybe from my grandfather on my father's side, and then my sibling will choose something from my grandfather on my mother's side. So we all have different information in us. And, in maybe you don't know anything about your ancestors. So it's very hard to find that information. But the way I work is to open up the systems and let the systems reveal what's in the systems, that we don't need to know all the information. And maybe there's somebody back there who's an alcoholic. Maybe there's somebody back there with a lot of rage, and then you've rage in your system, or anger, resentment. So these are the topics I'll be working with in the system. Maybe you have a thing that I don't believe in this, in my senses. In Ireland, if I was to do this work, even going back to my childhood, I would have been locked up in a mental institution for doing this type of work. So I don't have to go so far back, but can you imagine going back 2 generations? They would have been locked up for doing this type of work. That is the level of consciousness you need to bring into the system and find where the root cause is, the witch hunts, for example. So all these things are in our system and shame us and affect us. So in this webinar, I'm going to be working with what is in your system. Where did it come from? Where's the origin of it? How strong is that topic in you? Find the root. Is the root strong? Who's got the root in the system? How much of that is in your system? And then it transforms. And it's like a fuse. It runs by itself through the system. And then there's illusions that I'm safe, I'm protected, I'm okay, I'm happy, and maybe you're not happy. So then there's all these illusions which we'll be working with to clear in the system, to drop back into truth. Can you face the truth? Can you see the truth? Can you hear the truth? These are all very, very strong programs in the system. So in this webinar, I'm going to be working with all these different aspects of you to reveal yourself and to chip away at all the illusions, the parts of you that thinks it's you running the show, but it's not. It's something else. Mother in the system, mothers always have the thing that they keep the family together. So traditionally in the system, the mother is the one who keeps the family together. And there may be a strong value system there that's running your show, but it's not you. It's not coming from you. It's coming from your mother, or it's coming from an ancestor who didn't live their true emotions, their true purpose. And maybe you're a doctor for your grandfather. Maybe you're an accountant for your aunt. So what are you living, and who are you living it for? So there's a lot of different belief systems which really run our lives or ruin our lives, which are not true to who we really are in a soul level. And maybe we're behaving from guilt or shame or expectations or burdens of secrets or of different people's values, which is not our true values. So in this webinar, I'm going to be working with to really dissolve those fields and really see what is in your system. So you can feel yourself, live your truth, and be yourself. This is what Mom and Dad webinar is about. It's going to be 4 potent webinars, which will bring up a lot of resistance in your system, which then will change your life and give you a different type of life purpose, which is closer to who you are. Spirit is whole. Spirit then drops into the body, but this body is programmed. So it's deprogramming the system so you can live your own life, your own dreams, your own visions in your own way. This is what this webinar is about. So I invite you to be part of it if this resonates or what you'd like in your life, and to really go back to your own values, your own truths, and why are you here? So this is going to be a potent webinar. If you can't make it and you want to use the excuse that you can't make it this evening, it's going to be then recorded and you can watch it whenever you want. So no excuses. And it will help you to really trace in your ancestral line where is mental illness from, where is depression from, where is anxiety from, where is scarcity from, where is the violence from, where is the sexual abuse from, where is the addictions from, where is the low self-confidence from, where is the controller from, where is the bipolar from, where is the gifts from. So we're going to open up a lot of gifts, a lot of freedom, a lot of space for you to live you, to be you, to value you, to nourish you, to protect you, to value you, to be you, to have fun here, to feel at home and safe in your own vessel, your own lives, your own bodies. your own intimacy without guilt, without shame, without dissociation, disconnection. So this is what this webinar is about. And I'm sure a lot more will come true this evening. So have a beautiful, beautiful day, and maybe I'll see you at the webinar later. Thank you, everyone, for all your support and for being on this journey with me as it's helping me to evolve and helping me to look at my shadow, my purpose, my system information too. So since this webinar in me, it brought up a lot of topics in me that I had to address and work through so I can hold space for this webinar. So yeah, it was a rough week, but it's working and I'm really grateful it's happened and I've worked through those fields. So I'm looking forward to sharing these results with you. So maybe I'll see you later. Have a beautiful day.